The ascension of President Donald Trump to the White House has raised concerns among the international community. It was in this context that the SADC-USA Forum was held at the Ivatso International Conference Center, bringing together high-ranking officials from the member countries of the Southern African Development Community SADC and representatives from the U.S. State Department led by U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs Melanie Higgins. The focus of the discussions was the continuation of the implementation of the second cycle of the SADC-USA Regional Development Objective Agreement 2023-2027, which covers agriculture, health, democratic governance, youth, environment, and energy. This considering the reduction of American aid to Africa, which amounted to nearly $4 billion in 2024.
But this time, we really focused on the issue that SADC was formed for a reason. And SADC was formed from real conviction that Africa can make it because it's born out of the frontline states, it's born out of shared blood, it's born out of shared trenches, and now it's time to build the pillar.
Another issue raised during this forum was the travel ban, an American measure that prohibits the stay of nationals from countries considered non-cooperative in terms of security or diplomacy. In the SADC region, Angola and Zimbabwe have already been affected by these restrictions. On August 5, 2025, the U.S. launched a pilot program requiring a bond of up to $15,000 from applicants for tourist and business visa. In Africa, this measure applies to Malawi and Zambia. Several delegations reportedly advocated for more transparent dialogue and a differentiated approach in order to limit the impact of these measures on human, economic, and cultural exchanges.
We took about 82 decisions, ranging from the foundational decisions on the foundational issues of SADC, which is peace and security. And we took decisions on infrastructure development. We took decisions on human capital issues. We took decisions that are really around integration and the issue of visas, for example, that SADC countries should do away with visas, and we praised Zimbabwe, Seychelles, and Mauritius for having removed visa requirements for SADC.
Relations between the SADC and the United States could be jeopardized in the future with the African Growth and Opportunity Act, which expires in September, being called into question. Indeed, today, Lesotho and Botswana tax debt of 7% on custom duties on textile, mining, and agri-food exports. On April 2, 2025, the U.S. announced a new trade policy that introduces reciprocal tariffs of 11 to 50% on all products imported from the SADC region, effective on April 9. In terms of exposure, these tariffs imposed on the SADC represent nearly 4.4% of SADC exports that are directed to the United States.
That we're an integrated region that speaks and does the work, because it is very important that we do what we write and we write what we do.
For a broader perspective, experts believe that strengthening African economies through intra-regional trade is the key to preserving African economic interest. However, this does not rule out the possibility of states signing bilateral agreements with major foreign powers, although this option raises the vulnerability of many countries.